Very warm welcome to all. Today, I, Riya Khanna, a legal intern under LEXIS and Company, am here to explain my topic case analysis on Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala. Kesavananda Bharati challenged the Constitution 29th Amendment Act 1972, questioning the Kerala government's attempt under two state land reform acts to impose restrictions on the management of its mud property. A 13-judge bench was formed to preside over the case, which was heard over 68 days, in which 11 different judgments were delivered in what is said to be a 7:6 ratio majority. The basic structure of the constitution is inviolable and could not be amended by the parliament. Kesavananda Bharati, the Kerala seer from Ednir Mutt, whose property rights in the Supreme Court in 1973 helped define the basic structure under the Constitution of India, passed away at the age of 79. It was in the landmark Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala, after which it was ruled that the basic structure of the constitution cannot be amended. The Supreme Court, in a 7:6 judgment, ruled that the Parliament has no powers to alter the basic structure of the constitution. The arguments in this case went on for 68 days. Now let us understand what exactly was the Kesavananda Bharati case. Kesavananda Bharati challenged the Constitution 29th Amendment Act, questioning the Kerala government's attempt under two state land reform acts to impose restrictions on the management of its mud property. Bharati also challenged the constitutional amendments, the 24th, 25th, and 26th amendments, which were introduced by the Indira Gandhi government. The principal question that was raised in this case was about the power of Parliament to amend the Constitution in totality, especially with respect to fundamental rights. To simply put, the basic question that the Supreme Court had to decide was whether Parliament could alter, amend, abrogate any part of the Constitution, even to the extent of taking away all the fundamental rights. Senior lawyer Nani Palkhiwala, Fali Nariman, and Soli Sarabji fought the case for Kesavananda Bharati. A 13-judge bench was formed to preside over the case, which was heard over 68 days, in which 11 different judgments were delivered in what is said to be a 7:6 ratio majority. The Supreme Court then ruled that the basic structure of the Constitution was inviolable and could not be amended by the Parliament. And the basic structure doctrine has since been regarded as a tenet of Indian constitutional law. Let us understand a little background of the Kesavananda Bharati case. Such challenge like Kesavananda Bharati case was inevitable given the government reactions to the court's judgment in the Golaknath case in 1967. In Golaknath case, an 11-judge bench held that the parliament could not amend fundamental rights, including the right to property under the Constitution of India. This did not sit well with the Indira Gandhi's government, after which the parliament passed major amendments allowing amendment of fundamental rights and putting some property issues beyond judicial review. In the early 1970s, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi led government had enacted major amendments to the Constitution: 24th Amendment Act, 25th Amendment Act, 26th Amendment Act, and even 29th Amendment Act to get over the judgments of the Supreme Court. In the R.C. Cooper 1970 case, in the Madhav Rao Scindia 1970 case, and the above mentioned Kolaknath case. In the R.C. Cooper case, the court had struck down Indira Gandhi's bank nationalization policy, and in the Madhav Rao Scindia case, it had annulled the abolition of privy purses of former rulers. Now, the judgment of the basic structure of constitution was led by Chief Justice S.M. Sikri, who ruled by a 7:6 verdict, held that the parliament can amend every article in the constitution but should be restrained from altering the basic structure of the constitution. The court held that under Article 368, which provides Parliament's amending powers, something must remain of the original constitution, that the new amendment would change. Now, the court did not define the basic structure and only listed a few principles like federalism, secularism, democracy as being its part. Since then, the court has been adding new features to this concept. Now, let us talk about the fallout. Indira Gandhi government struck back against the Kesavananda Bharati verdict. Chief Justice of India S.M. Sikri retired the day after the verdict. Justice A.N. Ray, who was among the 6 dissenting judges, succeeded him and became the 14th Chief Justice of India, superseding Justices Sheelath, Grover, and Hedge, who were on the side of the majority in the cases. The case was again reopened as Attorney General Naren D moved to the Supreme Court. However, no review petition was filed. A 13-judge bench was constituted to review the verdict by Chief Justice of India Ray as Master of Roster. However, on November 12, 1975, the bench was dissolved after Chief Justice of India Ray yielded to immense peer pressure. The basic structure doctrine has been since interpreted to include the supremacy of the Constitution, the rule of law, independence of judiciary, doctrine of separation of power, federalism, secularism, sovereign democratic republic, the parliamentary system of government, the principle of free and fair elections, welfare state, etc. Thank you so much.